Good morning, world. Here it is, another day. Coming to you straight from the shower. Yes, Spirit was calling to me and saying, Donna, this message, I want you to get it out there today. It wasn't something I had planned. I was planning on doing another one of my bits of bravery stories, certainly not this one. But this morning, when I pulled out my deck of oracle cards, this is part of my morning routine. I come into my office and I sit in my chair and I pull out my deck and I shuffle them. And then I just sit there and I hold them just cupping it up against my chin. And I just sit here and I can feel immediately a smile come over my face. I can just feel this sense of calmness. And I just can breathe deeply and sigh and just say, thank you, Lord, for this precious day. And it's amazing. It's like instantaneous calm for me. Now, oracle cards are something that are really new to me. I had never even heard of them, or if I had heard of them, I made no connection to them until about 6 or 7 months ago. I think it was like December timeframe. Had never really looked at a deck. I had heard of oracle, or I had heard of tarot cards before. And my son is actually a tarot card reader, and he has done a couple of readings for me. And I was just amazed at what he was able to interpret from the cards for my situation. So I bought this deck of oracle cards, this one, Nature's Whispers. I think it was in January, perhaps, or February. And most mornings, when I first got the deck, I was pulling a card and just studying it and reading it, seeing what message I got from it. And now it's part of my daily practice. This was extremely uncomfortable for me to do. It was extremely difficult for me to share with people because I'm in this transition period where I'm going from a very logical person to more of a spiritual woo-woo person, of really trusting the universe more. What a difference it has made in my life. I feel lighter. I feel less stress. I feel, that's one thing. Instead of always thinking, I am feeling. And that is so important. It's such a dramatic change in my life. And I was surprised by that. I didn't realize how much I was missing out on. I always knew that I was a happy person. Now I feel like a joyful person. And there's a difference. Wow, there's a difference. So anyway, back to oracle cards. So I started pulling a card for myself and getting these really amazing synchronistic messages, something that really did feel like it was directed to me. And then I went on Facebook and I shared that I was doing this. And I actually invited people to send me a private message or comment on the post that I had made. And I invited them to receive a free card reading. And what I did was I drew a card thinking about that person. And for some of these people, they're just Facebook friends. And I really didn't know much about them. I just really knew their name and knew what their face looked like if they had a profile picture. And I pulled a card for them and I created a video and sent that to them privately. And the feedback that I got was amazing because all of the readings that I did just by pulling one card, it made some connection with these people. And whether or not it's like reading your horoscope in the daily newspaper, that you say it can fit anybody, that's probably true. The same message can probably impact many people, but it will impact them all a little bit differently. And if you start to think of that message not as one that's put out globally to everyone, but if you start looking at that message and say, this is for me, how does it apply to me? Then you can really start to look at it and say, how can this impact me? How can I make changes? How can I improve my situation, my life, my level of happiness? based on what this card is telling me. So this morning, as I was sitting there with my cards pressed up against my chin and just feeling this sense of joy, this sense of calm, this sense of being, and I was starting to ask my God, my spirits, my guides, to send me a message that I needed to hear today. And the message I received through the entire deck was to share this message. And so I am going to draw my card for today. Which one do I want? Sometimes that's a tricky thing. I'll be spanning through the deck, and then sometimes I'll just say, nope, I'm just going to take the top card. I'm going to take the bottom card. Today, this is my card. Let's see what I've got. Keep your dreams alive. How true is this? Now, yesterday I started my brand new Walk With Me community. It was scary. It was hard work. It was so stressful. But I was having so much fun doing it. And today I'm reminded to keep my dreams alive. I took that first step. My walkers have taken their first step. But we all have dreams. And I'm going to tie this into that community. Hey, Mary. I am going to tie this into this community because the reason I started Walk With Me is because I know so many people that have dreams in their lives. There are things they want to do, especially as we get older, we approach retirement age. We have all of these dreams. So many of us, we want to travel. We want to be the tourists all over the world. But you know what? If you don't have good health, you won't be able to do that. If you don't have good health, if you don't have the stamina and the physical capacity and the coordination and the balance to walk, what sites are you going to go see? What towers are you going to climb? Here in Maine, we have lighthouses. Sometimes to get out to them, you're walking on really large boulders that are the breakwaters. Earl and I were hiking one just last weekend. You need to have balance and coordination. You need to have the stamina to walk a mile or so. And if you don't have that, your dreams for doing all the traveling that you've worked all your life for, because that's what you want to do, you may not be able to do it. If you have dreams of running around with your grandchildren and playing hide and seek with them and all of just chasing your grandkids around without having to be out of commission, exhausted, laying on the couch for 2 days afterwards. It's because you haven't built up the strength and the stamina that a good walking program will do for you. It's powerful. Just as powerful, what did I do with my card? Just as powerful as any other dream that you might have. You need to keep it alive. You need to figure out what it's going to take, what strength, what determination, what accountability is required for it. If our dreams just keep living in our heads, it can be fun. It can be stress relieving to just imagine, but it's so much more powerful, so much more playful to make them come alive. And it doesn't all have to be about stress. Get people involved. Have people help you out. Share it with the world. Your dreams matter. Keep your dreams alive. It's powerful. Okay, so enough on that rant. So back to why this is a bit of bravery. As I said, I was a purely logical person. I had these thoughts and feelings about more of the spiritual woo-woo stuff, but I wasn't brave enough to own them, to declare them. And that can take a bit of courage, especially when it's a drastic change from the person that people have known for a long time. But here's what I've discovered. If you're willing to pronounce yourself as being interested in whatever, in something else, you will start to find people who have that same interest. But you have to, the law of attraction talks about it being our vibration levels, our energy levels, and you vibrate, you radiate. We all, as energy beings, we have our own vibrations These are based on our emotions, where we're feeling, what we're doing. And when we're at a certain energy level, we will connect with people at that same energy level. And then when we change our energy level, then we meet other people. And it's so true. This is all new to me. I don't speak the language very well yet. So if someone has more experience with the law of attraction, and if I misspoke there, please correct it in the comments, because learning new languages, it's challenging. You know, you put yourself at risk for sounding foolish, for using the wrong words, using it in the wrong context. But I'm okay with that now. And that's something new about me as well. I'm just allowing what happens happen, because unless I put my mistakes out there, mistakes aren't like a fire that you put out. Unless I allow myself to share them and expose them to the world, people can't help me correct them. So, a bit of bravery, sharing my discovery of oracle cards and tarot cards, and inviting people to enter the world with me. So if you're interested in having a free oracle card reading, leave a comment, send me a private message, and I will do one for you. It will probably be sometime next week, and I will send you a private message with a link to an unlisted YouTube video, which means you're the only one that can see it. And I will pull a card for you and send you a message from the universe. And even if you've had a reading done before, feel free to ask for another one. This is my gift back to the universe for sending me this message today. Have a great day and go take a walk.